Scout Automobile, welcome to back. Close your eyes for a second and imagine a machine that never existed in reality, but still feels like it was born somewhere deep inside American muscle history. A car that carries the soul of the past, the aggression of the present, and the imagination of the future all in one frame. A machine that doesn't ask for attention but takes it instantly the moment it appears. This is not just a car concept, this is a vision. This is a rebirth. This is the 2026 Ford Torino Cobra Jet 429. Before we go any further, understand one thing clearly. This is a concept interpretation, a reimagined muscle legend inspired by one of the most aggressive eras of American performance engineering. It is not just about speed or design, it is about attitude. It is about how a machine can still make your heartbeat change rhythm the moment it starts. Now imagine it standing still in complete silence. And then the journey begins. We start from the back of the car. The rear view of the 2026 Torino Cobra Jet 429 is where the story of raw power begins to reveal itself. The first thing you notice is the width, extremely wide, aggressive and planted like it refuses to move unless it decides to. The stance is low, almost crouched, like a predator waiting for the exact moment to attack. The taillights are a modern interpretation of classic muscle DNA, rectangular yet sharp, glowing with a deep red intensity that feels almost alive in the dark. When they illuminate, they don't just signal braking or direction, they announce presence. They tell everything behind this car that something powerful is in front of them. The rear bumper is not soft or decorative, it is carved with purpose. Deep aerodynamic cuts, integrated diffuser channels, and airflow management systems make the back of this machine look like it belongs in a wind tunnel rather than a street parking lot. Now listen carefully in your imagination. Because this is where the exhaust comes alive. Quad exhaust outlets sit deep inside the rear structure, slightly angled, designed not just for performance but for emotional impact. When the engine starts, the sound is not just loud, it is layered. A deep bass rumble that shakes the ground, followed by sharp aggressive bursts that feel like the engine is breathing fire. The rear spoiler is not a styling piece, it is engineering. At high speeds, it activates downforce pressure, pushing the car into the ground, increasing grip and stability. It is subtle when parked but dominant when in motion. Now slowly move your attention from the rear to the front. Because this is where the identity of the Cobra Jet 429 fully transforms. The front view is pure aggression. The grille is massive, stretched wide like an open mouth ready to inhale the road ahead. It is not designed to look friendly or elegant, it is designed to look powerful. Inside the grille, active cooling systems regulate airflow to the engine, ensuring performance never drops even under extreme pressure. The headlights are slim, futuristic and sharp. They don't just light the road, they cut through darkness. When they turn on, there is a slight delay glow effect, like the car is waking up from sleep and focusing its vision. The hood is one of the most dominant parts of the entire TI design. It features raised power bulges that symbolize the engine beneath it. These bulges are not random design elements, they represent force, pressure and combustion energy waiting to be released. Air vents are placed strategically across the front fascia. Each vent has a purpose. Cooling brakes, feeding air to the intake system, or managing aerodynamic pressure at high speed. Standing in front of this car doesn't feel like looking at a vehicle. It feels like standing in front of something that has intention. Now move towards the front left side. This angle reveals the true muscle of the Torino Cobra Jet 429. From here, the long aggressive body lines become more visible. The design flows from the front fender all the way to the rear, like a continuous motion of speed frozen in metal. It looks like the car is already moving even when it is standing still. The wheels are large, performance-oriented, and deeply tucked into flared arches. The tires are wide, low profile, and designed for maximum road grip. Every inch of rubber touching the ground is engineered to transfer power without waste. The side skirts sit low, almost touching the ground, reducing air turbulence and improving high-speed stability. This is not just styling, it is aerodynamic control. From this angle, you also notice the aggressive mirror design, compact, aerodynamic, and shaped to reduce drag. Even small components on this car are treated like performance parts. Now shift to the front right side. This perspective balances everything you saw earlier. It shows symmetry, precision and engineering discipline. The body lines remain consistent. But now you start to notice how every curve is calculated to manage airflow. At higher speeds, air doesn't just pass over this car, it is guided, controlled, and redirected. The interbody acts like a system, not just a shell. The front right angle also highlights how low the car sits. This low stance is not just for looks, it reduces center of gravity, improving cornering ability and high-speed control. Now we step inside the cabin, and everything changes. The interior of the 2026 Ford Torino Cobra Jet 429 is not built for comfort first, it is built for control. As soon as you open the door, you are greeted by a driver-focused cockpit. Everything is angled toward the driver. Nothing is random. Nothing is unnecessary. The dashboard is fully digital, displaying real-time performance data. Speed, RPM, torque distribution, engine temperature, tire pressure, and G-force readings are all visible at once. It feels like sitting inside a command center. The steering wheel is thick, flat-bottomed and wrapped in performance grip material. Every button is placed for quick access. You don't have to search for controls. Your hands already know where they are. The seating position is low and aggressive. Bucket-style performance seats hold your body tightly during acceleration and cornering. You don't slide, you don't shift, you stay locked in place like part of the machine itself. Even the interior lighting is subtle and controlled. Soft ambient lights trace the edges of the cabin, creating a futuristic atmosphere without distracting from driving focus. Now imagine pressing the ignition button. The entire cabin vibrates slightly, the engine comes alive. And the sound inside the cabin is not just noise, it is emotion. Now let's talk about the heart of this machine. Under the hood lies the legendary concept inspiration of the Cobra Jet 429, reimagined for 2026 performance expectations. This engine is not about silence or efficiency. It is about raw combustion energy translated into motion. When idle, it produces a deep rhythmic rumble, like a heartbeat of steel and fire combined. But when the throttle is pressed, everything changes instantly. The response is aggressive, immediate and overwhelming. Acceleration feels like being pushed by force itself. The car doesn't gently move forward, it launches. Every gear shift is sharp, mechanical, and satisfying. You feel the transmission working, not hiding. On straight roads the car feels unstoppable. On curves it feels controlled but powerful. On open highways it transforms into a long-distance missile that doesn't lose energy easily. The suspension system adapts dynamically, balancing comfort and performance depending on driving mode. In performance mode, everything tightens. Steering becomes sharper, throttle response becomes immediate, and stability increases dramatically. Braking is equally powerful. High-performance brake systems bring the car to a controlled stop even from extreme speeds. Confidence is never lost. Now return your focus to driving experience, because this car is not about numbers, it is about emotion. Every press of the accelerator feels like a decision that changes the environment around you. Every turn of the steering wheel feels connected directly to the road surface. There is no delay, no artificial feeling, only mechanical honesty. At night, the car becomes even more dramatic. The headlights cut through darkness, the exhaust glows slightly under reflection, and the sound becomes deeper due to open road acoustics. People don't just notice this car, they react to it. Because it doesn't blend in, it dominates. Now think about what this concept represents. The 2026 Ford Torino Cobra Jet 429 is not just a revival idea, it is a statement. A statement that muscle cars are not dead, they are evolving. It shows what happens when classic American performance DNA is merged with modern aerodynamics, digital systems, and engineering precision. It respects the past but refuses to stay in it. And that is what makes it powerful. Because while many modern cars focus on silence, efficiency, and automation, this machine focuses on connection. The connection between driver and machine, between emotion and engineering, between control and chaos. This is not just transportation. This is experience. And as the journey ends, the engine slowly settles into a deep idle again, like a beast returning to rest after speaking its language of speed. Scout Automobile signing off. But the 2026 Ford Torino Cobra Jet 429 concept, it never truly rests. It only waits for the next ignition, the next road, and the next moment where it can become alive again.